crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Bravo! Stay with your man. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
That'll be taken in there by 14 yards. Good for a Packer first down.
A gain of 14.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
On first down, this is McCaffrey pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers Funches has it complete. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 38, Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield.
This is something that we expected to see. McCaffrey used out of the backfield. 107 catches in 2018, the most in one season by an NFL running back.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He's got a man, complete. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Kenny Golladay, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check 52.
Now a give right side, Coleman. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Now the rookie from Boise State, Alexander Madison. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Vikings! Irv Smith Jr. with his first career NFL touchdown, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And they got the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
Let's go, let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. These two teams all tied after one.
Hey, they're scared. They're scared. Watch twins. Watch twins.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers throwing deep for Goff. And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 34.
First down, Packers.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Wide left. Under 10. Check.
This is McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 44, Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Ed Oliver, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league, so even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. Stops short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Coleman. And he'll be out of bounds right at about the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down, this is Madison. And not much here as he'll get 12-yard line. 5 yards on first down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On third down, here's Coleman, and he will have the first down. But
a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he goes out right around the 39. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Coleman. He's got the first down and more past midfield. Touchdown, Vikings! Tevin Coleman, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
And that's complete to McCaffrey. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. shotgun now for Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Check three, check three.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check 50. Leave it. Bring up 48.
Throwing, Cousins, looking deep for Adams. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
Let's go. Big time. Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Alert flare.
Gun. Here we go.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's Madison running on first down. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
No.
Lens 50. Through.
Safety 6-6. Pull it high.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Right here.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now with toss, this is McCaffrey. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On 2nd and 9, Rodgers, and to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
54, right there, 54 miles. Go. Go.
Hey, Haywood. Box it. Not ready for this, man.
Now Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Josh Jones in on the stop.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Going to run with Madison again, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
319.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career, and he's going to need another one right now. Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to...
And he coughed it up, and the Vikings pick up the football. There he goes left side. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point try by Bailey. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we had no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, 88.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Cousins on first down. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, they got the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
Next the score, Vikings 37, Packers 10. Dan Bailey to kick off 4 minutes.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something. And my goodness, another interception. Monte Nicholson picks it, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
At the 27-yard line.
Hey, watch the lane.
Another carry now from Madison. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones, and really illuminate them. Not cool.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Minnesota, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
There ain't no time, there's it. Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit.